Then please put your hands together. Welcome to the stage, your host from Popverse. Give it up for Grant!
Oh my God! Look at you! Look at you, Seattle! Hello and welcome to an Uncharted panel. Are you ready for this? Are you ready for this? That's a little bit more like it. Well, then we won't keep you waiting. Please help me in welcoming to the stage, Mr. Nolan North. Elena herself, Emily Rose. And last but in no way least, Richard McGonagle. There's Sully. Yeah.
Come closer.
Yes,
Come
please.
closer. Come sit closer.
Come closer.
Are we on? Yes.
Yes.
Hello, everybody.
Hello.
How are you? Is this anybody's first Emerald City?
It's mine.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Let's let them feel welcome then. Okay,
And
great.
then, you know, she's a Seattleite.
This is my native land.
Have you ever gotten in trouble before? Like when you tell people you've never been to ECCC before, you're like,
I've been dying to come here. I just have wanted to come here for so long, so I'm very excited.
it is such a phenomenal convention and a phenomenal crowd. And they want answers from all of you. So let's just dive right into it. Okay, so starting off, I mean, you are part of this franchise, and you were doing these games for such a long time. And I understand all of you kind of have an interesting audition experience, just kind of going right to left, I forget. Nolan, what was your audition experience for Nathan Drake?
It was a straight offer.
That's kind of interesting.
No. Well, I think Richard and I had a similar experience, because the first auditions were at a place called Igloo Sound, I think, and in California and
Burbank.
In Burbank, and I had done jobs there, and it's a typical sound booth, maybe like 8x8 square, the glass, and then everybody who's important is on the other side. And I got there with, I'm auditioning for this. It's a game. I've done a couple games at that time, and I came in, and Amy Hennig, our director, creative director, Gordon Hunt, our director, and I think one other guy from Nottingham. It might have been Taylor or Josh Scher, but was it Josh?
It was Josh.
And they were in the 8x8 little square with me. And I'm like, okay, yeah. And they're telling me about the thing. Okay, so whenever, feel free to use it. It's not much space, but use it. And I'm like, what? Because typically an audition would be, oh, here's the sides. They're all on the other side of the glass. And they're like, okay, whenever you're ready. And you just start reading the lines. They're like, no, this is motion capture. And I'm like, oh, I knew what that was. But I didn't know how to do that. This little square, I'm like, I didn't know it was motion capture. And you kind of prepare that differently than you would just a straight voiceover audition. So I don't think it went particularly well, to be honest with you. But for whatever reason, I got a call back, and the second one was when I actually read with Emily. She was the reader in the room, and she'll probably tell you about that. But that's where it was a much bigger space. It was kind of like a dance studio. I think there was
At Sony.
wasn't there like a mirrored wall with the
Yeah,
the
it was like
bar?
a big dance room.
And the only thing I remember about that is at one point there was a chair, and I was supposed to slide behind a rock, and I slid, and the floor is really slippery, and I slid past the chair, and I grabbed the leg, and I think I went, oh crap, and that wasn't written, but as you know, it got written a lot after that. And I got to read with her, and I think that's one of the reasons that I did so well, because she knew the material, and she was great. So, and whatever happened, here we are. So.
Yeah, no, so I auditioned as well in the tiny little itty bitty room, and it was one of the first times I was auditioning because I was coming out of grad school. My teacher, Gordon Hunt, was directing the game, and he was like, Emily, I think that this girl looks like you. You should come on down and audition for her. And I was like, okay, I don't know what I'm doing. Did a voiceover audition, didn't know what I was doing. He told me I didn't get the part and that I had gone another direction. I said, okay, I understand. He said, but would you come in and read across from everyone that's coming to audition for Nathan Drake, because I think it would be good for you to learn how to audition, because clearly you don't know how to audition. And I said, no. He was very sweet, but I was like, oh, Gordon, I see what you're doing. Okay. So I said, of course, which is exactly what you do. You say, yes, I want to help out. I want to come. Went down to Sony, was in there, got to be on the other side of the table and read across from every single person that came in, got to see the other girls auditioning. And by the end, I was thinking, oh my word, I know what I can do. I can breathe, I can move, I can use the space. And at the end, they looked over and they said, hey, do you want to go outside and come back in and audition for this thing? And I was like, yes, please, yes, please. And that's how I landed Elena. Yeah.
And then there was my audition. I went to this place, this igloo place, and I go in, and like Nolan was saying, you used to go into a booth that was maybe 3 by 3, and there would be a music stand with lines on it, with paper on it that had all the different lines, and you'd read them like 3 or 4 times and then go to the next one and like that. That was how we made games. I go in, and Gordon was there, and I knew Gordon from other things, and nobody else was in the booth when I went in. Gordon came out, got me, brought me in there, and he said, okay, you're going to start out here, and then you're going to move over to this table, and I said, whoa, Gordon, this is a game, right? He said, yeah, motion capture. Motion what? I had maybe heard of it, but I really didn't know what it was. And he said, so I was kind of flustered and figured, well, forget this one. So I did the audition anyway, and I left, and I immediately, when I got in the car, I called my agent and I said, well, forget this one. Because I blew this really bad. And she said, well, we'll see what happens. And a couple of weeks later, I got a call from my agent saying, well, they want to see you again. They're going to have the callbacks, and you're going to meet the rest of the people. And I went, wow, you never know. And here I am. And actually, when we had those callbacks, and I went, I was there, and I auditioned with Nolan, and Emily was doing the
I was reading, yes.
And I'm on my way out, and I'm walking out with Amy, and you guys probably all know who Amy Hennig is. She was the creator. And so we're walking out, and I was looking at the room where all the people were waiting to go in and audition, and I was the only old guy there. And I said, I don't see any other old guys for Sully. And she said, well, there aren't any. I wrote this for you.
Aww.
And I went, oh my God, thank you.
Yeah, all the younger guys were from me. That guy is a question mark.
That's
and that was of course, that was Uncharted. Yeah. We had no idea where this was going then. We were doing one game, and look what happened.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's great.
Thank God.
Thank God.
Well, kind of in that same vein of, you know, like not quite knowing what's next. So Uncharted comes out in 2007, and then
Yes.
Among Thieves is it doesn't start until 2008.
We started in 2007, right?
We started in 06.
I think 06 we were
Started
cast.
in 06, yeah.
There's
And
Somebody out here will know.
06 because I think it came out in 07.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
in between the first game releasing and starting production on Among Thieves. What, from your perspective, what was that kind of like? Was that a year?
Oh my gosh.
I think from the time it was, by the time we finished, there were a few months before, correct me if I'm wrong, by the way, because I don't know. There were a few, like 3-4 months while they're doing the finishing touches on it, and that doesn't really require us. And then it came out, and I think it was only about a month or two after that. I think it was like 6 months when they said, "Hey, we're going to do a second one," and that was. I just remember, hey, and I remember Gordon was like, "We're back,"
Yeah.
and it was, and the funny thing is, Uncharted 2 was the breakout. I remember hearing that more people bought and played the first game after playing the second game, and second one was just a juggernaut. I mean, it just, and so it, then there was looks like we're gonna get a number 3.
Yeah.
So it was. It was kind of up and away from there.
But it was really fun to experience everyone digesting it for the first time and watching this new groundbreaking technology and way of telling stories and a choose your own adventure that you could hop in and play really take off, and for everyone to really latch on to that and to also relate to the characters and the relationships in the story. That was fun to actually witness and go from, oh, this is just a really cool job and opportunity, to, oh, this is being experienced internationally. This is amazing. This is so fun.
Yeah, there was. I know when before 3 started, Amy called me and said we should have dinner. So we got together and had dinner, and she's sitting across the table from me, and she says, "Well, buckle up. We're going to do number 3, and it's going to have a lot more Sully in it." And I went, "What a brilliant idea." And she said the biggest comment about Uncharted 2 was, "There wasn't enough Sully."
It's true.
And I said, they were right. So we did 3, and Nolan and I were talking earlier, and when we did 3, we were also doing the Vita game. What was the name?
Golden Abyss.
Golden Abyss. Yeah, so we were having a great time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's funny. I remember that people always ask me, "What's your favorite game?" And I'm like, well, I think the way number 2, its momentum, its pace was so much like a film. I really loved that. But the most fun I had the game to make was 3. 3 was, it was just like, oh wow, we had found our stride. We had a shorthand with each other, and it was just so much fun. So many laughs. Graham McTavish, who's a good friend of ours, he was Lazarevich in the second game. He and I became so close that Amy made him Charlie Cutter, Nate's best friend, for the third game, with his actual British accent. We called him the poor man's Jason Statham.
Nate, down this alley. Yeah.
So it was yeah.
Wasn't he claustrophobic too, or something?
No, he wasn't. He's not claustrophobic.
I know, but his character was claustrophobic.
Yeah, no, but what he did, do you remember that? That's a great side story. In Uncharted 3, the opening in London, you have to go down this narrow alley. And what they do on the stage is they set up like pool noodles on little stands, and you have touching points to kind of pretend you're going down a corridor. And just for fun, Graham just went, oh, God, it'll all be over soon. It'll all be over soon. And Amy started laughing. She said, what are you saying? He's like, I just thought it'd be funny. It's claustrophobic. And she just went, yeah, do that. Because he improv that, later in the game, when he gets drugged, if you've played the game, there's a fight where he attacks Nate, his best friend, because he's out of his mind. And if you punch him, you lose the level. So it's just to teach you you have to avoid. But that never would have happened if he hadn't done that and she hadn't had the foresight to go, oh, you know what, that's interesting. Because something that people never know, there was no script for any game. There was it's not like you could read it and go, this is a great story.
Yeah.
It's not, you get an audition for a film, they'll send you a film script, 120 pages. You're like, read, oh, this is a good script, I like it beginning, end, there's my character arc. No, we got 2, 3, maybe 4 scenes to do that week, and then 2 weeks later, she'd write 3 more scenes, and just, We had no idea where it was going.
Well, and but the great part about the process that I loved about video games, or at least doing it with Naughty Dog, was you came in and you rehearsed for half the day. So we'd sit around and have a table read. We'd go through what we were doing and talk about the day before. We would have, hey, these are the scenes that are up. Let's talk about it in terms of, does this make sense for your characters? What about the relationships? Are there any funny things? Then we would go out and we would do it, and we'd put it on our feet, and we experience it in the space, so we could. And they would show us the worlds, and they'd show us what we were imagining. And then the next day we'd come in, we would suit up, we would get into the system and do all the things, and then actually go through with doing all of the different takes. So it was a neat process. It really felt with Amy very collaborative. Hey, this is the story. This is where we are. We know you don't quite understand where you are in the world or the story. We have it sorted out, but let's march into this and let's play in the sandbox together. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, Amy made a point of always saying to us, if you think you have another way of saying this line or making this point, go ahead and do it. If we don't like it, we won't use it, and we'll go back to what was written. But she always let us have a big part in the creative process. It was very organic. It was something, for me, it was the first time in my whole career that I felt like I was really a part of something, as opposed to, a judge, a lawyer, a doctor, a cop, whatever. And it was just the greatest experience. And like Nolan said, we got to know each other, and really we almost knew what the other character was going to do. And I remember when we were going through that scene where Cutter was going through and getting all freaked out and getting claustrophobic. And he said something like, "Oh."
No, I know what you're saying.
Said it, yeah.
No, you said, I said, come on, I think we got to go this way. And you said something like, lead on.
I said, "Lead on, Macduff." And he said, "It's lay on, Macduff." Oh, excuse me. We had a great.
Yeah, and then we get to the end, and we're just supposed to. The scene's supposed to end. And he just looks at it, and I just went, "Who's Macduff?" and Graham, this is all made up. So he said, "Lead on, Macduff," and he goes, "It's lay on, Macduff, lay on." He goes, "La di da," and I get to the end, and I just improv'd, "Who's Macduff?" And Graham, I think it's the best one. It's probably my second favorite line. She has my favorite line in the whole series. Elena Fisher, next year's model. He just looked, he goes, "Is there no bottom to your ignorance?"
And Amy kept it all.
And she
which
kept it
is
all.
Great.
Yeah.
I mean, that speaks to such a trust that Amy had in all, and not just in all of you as individuals, but like as a team to
Yeah.
be able to kind of do that. Does part of that come from just being in like such a weird environment? Like mocap must be, I don't know. It feels like that would be such a jump from like traditional acting, voice acting. You know what I mean? Did that feel weird at first?
People ask me that. I said, "How do you do that? You're in a room with nothing." And I said, "Or you're in a room with everything."
Yeah.
It's the limit of your imagination. And we had things there, but I always go back to Amy wrote. We ad-libbed here and there. She wrote great material. She wrote great dialogue, and she got to know our voices. And sometimes she wrote things that I'm like, I would totally say that. Nate would, I get that. Nate says that because I would say that just like that as it went along. There were only a few times where, like, I remember doing, there's the scenes that she wrote, and yeah, there was some ad-libbing, but it was some of those, it's called in-game cinematics, like when you just have to do something. And one of my favorites, and I was telling somebody today about it, and he started it. I remember this dialogue was just like, he stops and he goes, "God damn, it's hot." And I just go, "Come on, we got to keep going." That's the scene. And instead, he said,
"I'm sweating like a hooker in church." Actually.
And I just went, And then I just looked at him, and everybody kind of heads look up, and I went,
Actually, I said, I'm sweating like a whore in church. I was in the Navy, and one of my shipmates was, well, several of them were from the South, and he used to say, I'm sweating like a whore in church. And I loved that line, and it just came out when we were doing that.
And they made it to
And
hooker.
she said, can't say whore. Got another one? Hooker? Yeah, we can use that.
but the funny thing is that everybody's head pops up, and I just turned to him and I went, you brought a hooker to church?
Why not?
And that was it. And then he buttoned it with why not? And I was like, come on. And that's just, in those little moments, people still remember those things.
But I think what I love about it is they, with this game especially, didn't take themselves too seriously.
Yeah, that's
it was a very serious thing to make it excellently and to have all of the worlds and all of the levels and all the puzzles and everything figured out. But in terms of adding that lighthearted human element that just allowed people to pop up for a second and breathe and enjoy the adventure was what was so wonderful about it. And it made it fun to come to work because you didn't feel all of this pressure of like, we got to make the day, we got to like this drill down of what you sometimes feel like in film and TV. It was like, oh, I get to come and improv and play with my friends and we'll see what works and then we'll see it turn into something. We would come in also and get to watch the way that our characters were moving through. They're like, oh, come look how this level turned out. Look at what you're doing. And you're like, oh my goodness. So it was wonderful to have that kind of reward every time we came in.
Yeah.
And as far as the props went, Amy would show us a picture of this particular device that we find that's gold and it's got all these dials and springs on it. And when we were shooting it, it was a roll of gaffer tape.
Yeah, they're like, here's your duct tape. Here's your medallion.
Yeah. And Nate would hand it to me and I'd say, oh my God, look at this. How the hell did they make this? This is how old? We can't do this today. And that was, it was just like being kids again and playing in the parking lot or the schoolyard and making everything up, what we looked like, what we were wearing, what we were playing with. It was...
And everyone was there to facilitate it. So I'm sure some of you have seen the YouTube videos or whatnot, but you take your gun and you would go to take it and put it in your on your back,
holster.
In your holster, thank you. And somebody would run up behind you and grab the gun because they're not in markers. And you just, you're kind of doing all this and you have crew people coming in just grabbing the things so they don't drop and just helping the world be created. It's really fun.
We reached out to our Popverse members for some questions ahead of this. And actually, just along the lines of what you were saying, Randall from Ontario wanted to know what your favorite lines from the game were. We've already talked about some that really, really stuck out to you. Is there anything, favorite lines in general is definitely the question, but anything that really speaks to that kind of like improv, I'm putting myself into this kind of?
My favorite line is at the end of, I believe it's 2, but it was more of a scene. We're walking off into the sunset, and Amy just said, hey, you know what, do whatever just comes to mind. And I just said to him, I said, on a scale of 1 to 10, how afraid were you that I was going to die? And he says, 4. And I said, 4? What's a 10?
Clowns.
Clowns? You picked clowns over my death?
Clowns are terrifying.
And that's the way the game ended, which is just random. And I said something like, you kept my tears in a jar or something like that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, all of that. That entire riff, the fact that she kept it.
And that was my favorite improv. Because I get compliments on that. People talk about the end of that thing, and I'm like, I think we did it in one take. Yeah. Then just for safety, we did it again, and but she ended up using the first one because it was just so off the cuff, just the way it would be. Mm-hmm. It's like, that's acting. Acting is just, pretend it's really happening. And it really was happening there. So, and she started it, I mean, it was just like, it was brilliant on a scale of 1 to 10. Because I remember doing that going, I don't know what to say. What do you say? Like, hey, are you okay? No, it was just, she opened it and I was like, 4. It just, yeah, no, it was, that actually would be my favorite. My favorite lines aren't even mine. You know, Elena Fisher, last year's model. Because I think I go, that's cute. Like, if I had to pick one line from that scene, it's like, and somebody asked me to write it on, I've never written it on an autograph before, but thanks for the input, Jeff. That one was funny. I liked that because it was just like, here's this guy with my ex and like, Chloe's, yeah, whatever, but that's the one I want to marry someday. And who's Jeff? And is he just a cameraman? A lot of lonely nights in a tent with Jeff. And those are the things that you do as an actor. You put those in your head, and then when it comes out, you're like, so who's Jeff? Yeah. Those things that.
Or
happen.
getting up into this huge semi, they'd have this huge scaffolding that we'd have to pretend we're climbing up onto and like get in and close the door, and I'm like, scooch. Or something. Scooch.
Yes, no, I went scooch over. I went scooch over. And she goes, scooch?
Yeah.
I mean, it's life or
that.
death. Bullets are flying. She goes, scooch? It was just so
there's
much
a lot.
fun.
There's a lot.
Yeah, there's just too many. And again, like I said, there was one time where Sully's climb. We had the ADR sessions. People don't know maybe that we had sessions where they would run through a level, and we'd have to just sit there in an ADR booth, not mocap, and just improv. Or there were lines written, like, I think it's over here. Sully, this way. And then and then Sully's climbing up something, and the camera looks up, and I go, you got a great ass, Sully. And then he'd sit next to me, and he'd be like, And I want to go back for a second when he's talking about his casting. Have you heard the voice? Yes. It's Sully. It's Sully. I mean, it's the voice. It doesn't matter. I mean,
I have sometimes people coming to the table and different Comic-Cons, and this one. Can you say something like Sully in Sully's voice? I said, okay. What do you want to hear? That's it. I said, I know, it's me.
Shoes.
Oh my God, I can't even get into some of the stories.
There's an entire underground world of Uncharted as well that's on sound reels many, many miles away in between, where you would just be sitting there, we'd be prepping for another scene, and you would just look over to the sound cart, and the guys on their headphones are just losing their minds, like tears out of their face, because Nolan is
I'm still mic'd up.
Yeah.
And I'm just talking to them.
talking into the mic to them, saying all the kinds of things, and they're just losing it. It's just too much fun.
We used to, one of the other things that like Nolan was talking about, how Amy would just add stuff, write stuff that would fit us. And as I said, I was in the Navy, and I had a few Navy stories, and Nolan and I would be talking, while we were waiting around for some setup or something. But we were still mic'd, and Amy was still listening, and listening to some of these stories, and probably her eyebrows were curling on some of them. But,
Men never grow up. Just so you know.
But within a couple of weeks, some of those lines and stories were in the script. I said, where did you get that? She said, I was listening.
Amazing. Okay, so in just a moment here, we are going to switch it over to audience questions. Have you all been briefed on how audience questions are going to work? Did we hear this before? Yes? Okay. So there's a mic there, and there's a mic there. I'm going to ask one last question, and then we're going to switch it over. But while I am asking that question, if you would like to stand up and line up at the mics to prepare your question, go ahead and do that. My last question for all of you is... okay, so it's been 10 years since the last Uncharted game, which is a long time, and people still like these games. It's certainly not impossible that something else would come of this franchise. If you were to get the call tonight, hey, we want you back, we're doing it again, what would you want out of that game. It could be from your character. It could just be like a genre switch up. I don't know. Anything that you would just want to see that hasn't been explored in Uncharted yet.
Sully in a wheelchair.
Okay.
Raymond Burr did it with Ironside.
I'm not pushing you all over the continents. You could. He's like, I can only fly the plane now. First of all, I'd probably go to the hotel gym because it's exhausting. There were days where just the non-acting days when I'm doing the move sets where you have to do the running and the jump. It's a lot. I don't know. I've only ever heard rumors at conventions. People say, I hear there's going to be an Uncharted 5. I'm like, really? Who said? They're like, come on, I'm like, no, I really have not heard anything. I would hope they would tell me. At this rate, I just hope Nate's still in it. Yeah. I don't know. I mean, it's hard, especially since so much time has passed. For me, it's like, I don't know where you go. I've heard so many people talk about like, oh, he could do something with his daughter. It's like Taken. I'm like, the movie Taken and Liam Neeson, he's got his daughter. They could do that. I'm like, but they did that. Mm-hmm. When? Taken. It's like, I will find you and I will kill you. It's like, I just don't know. I don't know. I don't know where. We did such wonderful things. I mean, and there's better minds than mine that could come up with a story, but I don't know where. I don't know what I don't know. I don't know. I wish I had a better answer. I don't know, because I just felt like we did something so great and it was such a good thing. Somebody else could come up with something though, I'm sure, and it would make me go, why didn't I think of that? Just like a widget. Like, some guy, the guy who made the coffee sleeves? Multi-millionaire. Why didn't I think of that? So I'm sure there's an idea out there, and I just would need a few weeks to get into shape, months to get into shape.
I mean, I think we'd love to do it. It would be brilliant. And I think if we did, what I would love to see is what I feel like I get from fans or people who are playing when they come up to the table, is just this desire to see the characters be like, hey, yeah, let's go do that again. Like, let's go solve something. And then watch them sort of have to enter into what it is to leave that behind, leave the stable behind and step into an adventure. And then to watch them kind of wrestle and do that and stick with it and be kind of amazed at them in this like new season. To me, I think everybody just wants to spend more time together. So I think that's what I would want, is just like to be able to go on another adventure again. I think that'd be fun.
I know what the opening scene would be.
Okay. This can't be a Navy story.
No. It would be Nate and Elena coming to the home to spring Sully and take him on an adventure.
He's like, no, it's soup night.
And
Every
then
night is
bingo.
soup night. Basket act.
Don't go there.
Incredible, phenomenal answers. And I don't know if it is a struggle to think of what comes next. I think that just speaks to how incredibly it wrapped, and how satisfying it must have been at the end.
The difficulty would be, this is the only game where they allowed the characters to age with the actors.
Yeah.
Lara Croft's the same age. Mario, stay with me, he doesn't change. So it's kind of like,
he got his doctorate.
Nate's knees my knees turned to powder about 5 years ago, and it's like, it'd just be like, there'd be a lot of crap, things are gonna hurt and ache a little longer. So
that's hilarious. That is hilarious.
Yeah, people are gonna love that. The geriatric edition. Why is this game so slow? Oh. Run, Nate, faster.
Awesome. All right. Let's turn it over to you folks. We're going to start over here with the fella in the green cape. Hello.
Hi, I'm Alex.
Hey, Alex.
Hey, Alex.
I've already seen you multiple times at conventions, but I live in Vancouver, Washington, but I'm born and from here in Seattle, and I have a question for you, and then a super quick one for all three. My question for Nolan is, did the dearly missed who played Odo on Star Trek Deep Space Nine, Rene Aber?
Jean-Noir.
Yeah.
Yep.
Did he get to do the motion cap with you? And then my second super quick question for all three of you is, if you've seen it, what did you think of the Uncharted movie? Because I thought it was better than the other old adventure guy in his Dial of Destiny, and there were Nazis in it. And
Rene Auberjonois, God rest him, was phenomenal. He did do the motion capture with us.
wish I could have met him because I'm a big Star Trek fan and love his Odo.
Okay, so am I. I was a Trekkie, still am, and yeah, he was special to work with. He was so good, and it was a pinch me moment for my career because I'm sitting there across from me and he's doing Schaefer, and he's doing his thing like this and all that, and I'm like, there were times where I'm going, oh my God, he's so good, you know, and you're like, oh, stay with it, Schaefer. Yeah, so he was wonderful, and then what was even wonderful to work with, but then like Emily was saying, you know, in the down times when we got to talk with him, and you know, he was just a wonderful guy and so talented. It was great to be able to meet him. And the movie, I thought they did a good job. I thought the pacing was a little quick, but I think it was fun for them to, you know, where was Drake in his 20s? I like that they didn't.
Well, you got to be in it as some random beach guy.
Yeah, well, you know, that guy, you know, blink and you'll miss him. But what did you think of the movie, guys?
I just like that it introduced it to a new audience. You know, people that maybe weren't gamers, that didn't know, they were able to say, hey, this is actually something worth looking into. And to me, I was thrilled to see a different, that they didn't do our world necessarily, but before it was great.
Yeah.
I think they missed the boat. What would have been really funny, I think, to Star Trek, to Uncharted fans, would have been if all three of us were sitting on the beach and they come walking up and we go, look at these two. But I actually did not see the whole movie, so I can't.
I just sent him my clip.
He sent he sent me his clip. That's what I saw of the movie.
Hey, look at me. I was in a movie. Yeah.
Amazing. Next question over here.
I'm Zach from Orlando, Florida.
Hey, Zach.
You talked about a lot of the funny moments that y'all had. What were your favorite serious or heartfelt moments in the series?
My first one is Uncharted 3, where they taken Sully, and I just got back from that thing, and I lay down in her lap, and it's basically, I'm sorry for who I am, and she's like, I know, and it was just, yeah, it was a really, I think it was a really poignant moment, and that's what Amy created. You know, there's the adventure and everything, but she knew how to pace it, just like a film where there's moments where you need to let it breathe, and you get to see a real relationship. And I will say this, I think Emily created probably the best female character ever in gaming. No, it was so real. It was just a real person. It wasn't any kind of, you know.
That is the nicest thing you have ever said to me.
Oh, you're welcome. Emily? Emily.
Yeah.
Emily? You're. No, I really do. I do, and I think that, you know, it was great being Nathan Drake. Don't get me wrong, but without these two, it's just another game with a guy shooting things. And I think this trio is what made those games what it is, because this is the family. Cutter was kind of like the step kid. But you know, this was the family, and that's why this was the glue. It wasn't just, you know, I mean, my picture's on the box, but
We noticed.
Do you see what we had to deal with?
Oh,
I mean, come on.
oh, the ego.
Yeah. It's funny you say that because when you're asking about the serious scenes, that's immediately the one that came
Yeah,
to
me
mind.
too.
Not only cinematically was it beautiful with the lighting coming in and the windows and all of that, but when I look back at that scene, I just felt the weight of it, and I felt what I loved about it is it wasn't trying too hard to be this. I mean, you came back exhausted. I think Elena is definitely dealing with, oh my gosh, what are we walking into? And I just like that it wasn't even a connection between the two of us. Like Elena's thinking off in the distance, she's caring for you, but yet all of this is going on. And it just felt to me like it allowed it to be a real situation. So it's interesting you said that. That's the first thing that popped into my mind too.
Yeah.
And then, I mean, I just think for me, it's not necessarily super serious, but the scene that I will forever have in my brain is like one of the first days of work when the three of us are dealing with the prop plane and we're opening up the 2x4 doors and shutting them, and we're having to pretend like we're floating
We're
in
floating
water.
in water, and we were
And
so bad at it.
And it is, to me, I'm just like having these guys in that, to have experienced that and to wrap our heads around the technology and get to do these scenes. To me, that, I don't know, I will never forget those scenes. I'll never forget them.
There was two for me. One, I think they were actually both in 3, where we're someplace and I'm sitting down and you're standing up and talking.
I was going to say, you're leaning on the Jeep, right?
No, this was in 3. I'm pretty sure.
Did you sit on the rock or the Jeep where you're like, kid,
Yes.
slow down? Yeah,
Yeah.
That's my other
You're
one. That was
getting
my
reckless.
second
And you gotta think these things through. And I'm giving him this pep talk, and I can't remember what his line was, but it broke that seriousness, whatever it was. You had a
I don't know.
great comeback.
Well, the one I'm thinking you're talking about but it was like, kid, you got to slow down.
Yeah.
I'm not getting any younger, and it was a serious moment where you're like, Nate had to stop and go, hey, this is my guy. We've been running around, and he's like, I'm getting older. You gotta stop and think this through. And we did something after that was a joke, and he kind of laughed, but it was just so real. It just She wrote these real moments that you be in a game and you're fun and you're doing this and everything, and all of a sudden it's just this poignant, like, oh wow, that reminds me of my dad when he said this, or my older brother, or something. You know, it just, the game helped. I think the game helped. People related to this game and the characters better than any game I think you can, because they were real people.
Yeah.
We're not. But they were.
But there was also the other one was at the end of 3, where we had this, and I can't remember the dialogue from the scene, but I think that was where that line, we don't get to choose how we start out in this life.
Yeah.
Real greatness is what you do with the hand you dealt.
Yeah.
And it was, I thought it was a great scene. And since then, and actually it was when you guys went to, where did you go? You went over to the Middle East, to Jordan. Yeah. And I didn't go. And I went over to Naughty Dog, and Amy was showing me some stuff about from the finished product. And one of the owners of Naughty Dog said something about that scene at the end. Wow, you made me cry. I said, okay, good. Do I get more money now?
No.
No.
Over here is our next question.
All right, hey, I'm Nick. I'm from Pittsburgh.
Hey, Nick.
Hi, Nick.
Hey, I love hearing how organically you guys like sort of made the world just come to life. Like you guys made that happen, it sounds like. But I wanted to ask, what is a moment you all shared together, or either all 3 of you or however, that showcased something, a quality you really appreciate of each other?
Oh my gosh.
Oh God, that's a good question. I don't appreciate anything of these two.
I think the scene where we were walking around the table with the pirates all sitting around.
Oh, that was a great one with you and I.
You remember that?
No.
You don't remember that?
Was I there?
Well, he wasn't in it.
I think he was.
No, he wasn't. It was just
he
you and I.
wasn't in there?
No.
Okay, well,
I made sure of it. I said, you
We're-
watch the
we were
plane. Go
around
watch
the one
plane.
we were all around the well together.
Well.
Well.
'Cause it's a well.
It's not a rug merchant, that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Anyway, both of those come to mind for me because I feel like the thing that I love about the two, first of all, I learned you have to understand, I was just right out of grad school taking this. So to be working with these two seasoned like voiceover actors as well as incredible actors in their
Old
like
people.
well, just very seasoned. Like it was to me seasoned with salt and pepper. It was such an incredible learning experience. And so I got to watch the commitment to the reality of what the scene was. I mean, it's gray walls everywhere. Nothing is there. But each of them just never questioning, like really stepping into it with full 100%. We believe everything that's happening and we're going to commit to it. A level that's inspiring. So to me, I appreciate that. But at the same time, being able to take it so lightly and then just so quickly. I mean, your brain is crazy, Nolan. It's crazy in an awful way and a great way. Yeah. But the way that they're both of them so quick, whip smart, is just inspiring to work with.
Well, then I will say to that, you're right. But the great thing about what I loved about working with them and it was the fact that you could go anywhere, you could try something, and they're like, yeah, I'll go that way. I'll go that way with you. And she may have a suggestion. I'm like, yeah, sure, let's try that. There was like no egos. It was just like, hey, that it'd be cool, it'd be fun. It was literally like being with your friends, playing in the backyard. You're like, okay, we're gonna play Star Wars. I'm gonna be Han Solo. You wanna be Chewie? You be Chewie. Yeah, but everyone's like, well, I want to be Han this time. No, I can't. It's like, okay, I'll be Luke. Fine, you get the blaster. But there was just this sense of play, and when you despite what you're watching, we are adults, and you come in with your ideas, but everybody just was so. I think the fact that we just had this mutual respect of like let's if we do this right, we might get another one and another. And so I mean, we became friends, and you just couldn't wait to get back and work with those friends again. It was, and the one thing is that we all share is we started in theater, and I think this motion capture is very much like theater, except you get a paycheck. But it very much is that. So, and one thing that Gordon used to always talk to us about, yeah, she's right. The room was bare. But when you connect with the person and you're really just saying the words to each other, that's the connection that makes the scene, and then they can build the world around it to fit that. But if that camaraderie and that rapport isn't there, then the player, is going to notice it.
And the listening. I think sometimes I've had the experience where you work with other actors, the scene is happening in their own minds, and there's not a real tuned in listening to what's happening.
Right.
When you work on a scene, you're throwing the ball out. Somebody really has to hear, receive what you're saying, catch it, and respond. And I felt that in this mix. When we would go after our T-poses or whatnot, and we were on, there was I am dialed in, what you say, I have to respond to, yes, and this.
That's
and
true.
There was a real listening. It wasn't, it really felt that way.
If anybody came in and worked with us and had a plan of how they were going to do it, they were screwed. It's like, isn't your line this? I'm like, yeah, but I felt like saying it this way. And Emily's like, yeah, and I'm going to say this now. But then what do I say?
Something.
What do you want to say?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Next question, I think, is over here. Yes.
Hi,
Okay.
I'm Greg from Chicago.
Hey, Greg.
Greg.
Hi, Greg.
Kind of piggybacking off of what you just said, for the fourth game, after you guys have built this rapport for 3 games, what was it like bringing Troy Baker as the, hey, remember the new guy kind of, role as Sam? Was he like an intruder or just kind of, what was it like?
It was awful.
It was an
I
intruder.
imagine just
An intruder.
It's intrusive,
Pain in the ass.
Yeah.
dealing with that, just blech. No, I mean, we had new people on every game. He had a different take because he was doing playing Sam, but but no, and he obviously he's done enough. He knew, and we knew him. So yeah, everybody who came in was willing to. They knew they were coming. They were coming to our playground.
Yeah.
And they knew what to expect. And Troy had worked with Naughty Dog, obviously, so he's like, no, so he knew the routine, so he just walked right in, and everybody really did. Everybody came in. I mean, that was what was great. I mean, I'm going to forget her name, but my favorite villain is probably Marlo.
Oh.
She was amazing. Yeah. And yeah, everybody kind of came in, and I think I credit Amy and Gordon with basically laying out, this is what this is. You're going to have a lot of fun. Just no egos, just play. And so you would not believe when you give an actor that kind of creative freedom. I mean, we had kind of a no asshole policy, and things were cast that way. Yeah. When we would, because by the second, third, fourth game, we would read with some of the people that I'd had to read with a lot of them, and you just could tell that this person's going to be willing to jump in and like, yeah, this sounds exciting, let's do it. So yeah, Troy was no different.
Thank you.
Yeah, you bet.
Question over here.
Hi.
Oh, there's a puppy dog.
Oh, puppy dog.
My name is Quill. I'm from Oregon, though I'm a student in California in game art right now. And Uncharted is the reason that I'm pursuing that. And this is Blue.
Hi, Blue.
Hi, Blue.
I would like to ask you guys because you talk a lot about having freedom in the roles and like this chemistry that you had. Do you still feel like you get that in like the more recent projects that you've worked on?
That's a really good question, by the way. That's awesome.
The tough thing is, it's hard, unless it's a motion capture game, it's hard to get, ever since COVID, any job that I've done is in a booth alone. And it's like, ooh, you're just, everybody's on Zoom. You're in your home studio. You don't even go to a studio anymore with an engineer you could even talk to. So there's a distance. I look forward to the next motion capture, performance capture, whatever they're calling it now. Basically, the game. That's why I've enjoyed a lot of the on-camera stuff I've been doing, series or movies or things like that. Because oh wow, I get to talk to another human being. That's kind of what acting's supposed to be.
I feel like Uncharted felt very special. The games that I've done since then, I feel like Uncharted broke this mold and created this new thing of narrative film cinematic gameplay, right? So there was this period of time where there was no eyes on what we were doing. I'm actually rather convinced that I would not have been cast as Elena if it was cast now. I think that because it was unknown and sort of this new groundbreaking way of doing things, they wanted a certain type of actor. They didn't mind if it was a name or not, things like that, Now I think it broke open this floodgate of, oh, we like this, we're hungry for it, we want to create more of it, that there are higher stakes, I think, on the cinematic games that are coming out now. Everyone expects more, it needs to hit this emotional thing, and if we can get this name actor and all those things. So I think with those things, more pressures come on the projects, but it really comes down to the collaborative team that you're with on the day. As an actor, your job is to step forward on that set and deliver to the writers and the producers what they want, and they've really set the tone for the project. So it's kind of on a by project basis, has been my experience.
Yeah.
I haven't done much of anything for a while. I've kind of retired a little bit, and I last fall read for a short student film out of Boston, and it was a 2-character piece that's going to go to festivals, and we shot it up in the woods in Maine, and it was just me and this young guy. I'm playing, I know, Grandpa. And this was my grandson, and I was a ghost. So anyway, the point is that I hadn't worked in a while, and I was starting to get really hungry to do something again. And while we were shooting this, I really noticed that I had just jumped back in to the same way that we were when we were working, when I was working a lot. And I was loose. Actually, I was looser and freer and felt like more creativity was going on in me, which was one of the reasons why I did it, because the money was huge, but not enough. Short films don't pay anything. But I think that the whole Uncharted experience was absolutely fed that imaginative, expansive, let's play, let's try this, let's stretch there, let's go out here. And it served me so well and still continues to.
Incredible.
If that answers the question.
Yes, thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, folks, we are running low on time here, so unfortunately. Well, can we do a speed round?
We talk too much, but we could try.
Tell you what, yeah, okay.
Speed round.
We're gonna try to do as many as possible. Ask your questions quickly, and if you can, structure them so that the answers will be quick.
And we don't even necessarily all have to answer it.
Right.
We'll just make it very lightning round.
Right.
Hell yeah.
And if,
all right.
and if we don't get to you, we'll be at our tables all weekend.
Yes.
Yeah.
Come ask questions.
Okay,
That's good.
I'm Catherine from Seattle, and my question is: when you first saw your character renders, were you like, "That's me, I'm cool with that," or was there something you really wanted to change?
I wanted him taller. But no, I was just happy to have a job.
When I saw Elena to audition, I saw her and I was like, that is me. Oh my gosh, that is me. And then when I didn't get her, I said, I guess that was not me. And then I got her and I said, oh, it turns out that was me.
I thought, this guy is much better looking than I am, so I'll do this. Absolutely.
Yes.
Lightning round.
Yes. Hi, I'm Jack Gomez. I'm from Portland, Oregon, and I was wondering, what are all of your favorite Uncharted games?
2 to play, 3 to make.
2 and 3.
3.
Okay.
Yes.
Hey, I'm Billy from Seattle. I'm assuming, what is the hardest part of the game that you played? Like a level or anything?
The entire thing. I'm terrible at games.
From the very beginning, I still can't get through it. My son has to help me.
I can't play them. If you were born before 1965, it's just not in the genes.
Hey, how you doing? My name is Tommy. I got a game signed by you three, so it doesn't get better than this, but do you have any cool collectibles for the Uncharted series or anything that you kept?
Oh, gosh.
Did you keep the duct tape thing?
Did I?
I mean, I have the boxes, a journal, little things, but I do find that my son tries to steal them. So they used to be in my office, but I can't guarantee they're there anymore.
I got somebody sent me there's a figure where he's jumping over a wall, and but the head keeps falling off, so it's not a good sign.
I have the box that Emily was talking about that's got Nathan in it.
Yes.
You know.
Yeah.
And anyway, all that's
his action
that's all I
figure.
have.
Plays with it too much.
Right here, and then I think this will have. Oh, we got okay. Here and then here. So you first.
Hi, my name is Ash from Seattle,
Hi.
and I was just wondering, what do you guys do to help get you into character? Because of course your characters are similar to yourselves, but they're not the exact same. They're video game characters.
You know what? You just walk in that room, cup of coffee in the morning.
Pretty much
ready to go.
Yeah, try to come over and talk to Nolan and get like warmed up just in conversation. That's what I found.
Yeah.
Less than a minute on the clock. Last question, make it fast.
Good evening, Alan from Denver. Was there any experience that the game inspired you to go do or a place to go visit after you did the games?
I'm going to tell you this, and I've said this before. I've been so blessed by this game in so many ways that I have now, whether it's Sony has sent me somewhere or these Comic-Cons invite me, all over the world now. I have traveled the world more than Nathan Drake because of Nathan Drake. So, yeah.
I think I think it took me to Jordan, which was one of the coolest experiences.
That was crazy.
I rode at a gallop, a full-speed gallop on an Arab horse all the way across the top of Petra. We stayed in Bedouin tents. We went and rode on the back of Jeeps, and it was purely because of PlayStation. It was
And my
incredible.
brother-in-law went with us, and basically I told Emily's husband, I said, we got her. We got her. And I looked at her, I said, hey, wrap up the yellow and keep the mouth shut. We don't know these people. We don't know how they're going to react. But I promised him we'd get her back alive.
Yes, it was an amazing experience, and I would not have, I couldn't believe it when I was standing there in the desert, and we're sitting there doing behind-the-scenes footage there. I was just like,
Remember the camel
so
tried to
grateful.
bite me?
Yes.
Kept trying to bite me. It's okay, you know what?
I wonder
Saudi
why.
Arabia, later on that, 2 years later, I ate camel.
You got him.
Tastes like beef. Stupid camel.
I didn't go anywhere.
Sully had to watch the plane. But he's here in Seattle.
That's right.
I will, yes. And I will say, again, I know this sounds so cliche, but thank you, everyone
Yeah.
that shows up and continually plays and takes the time to come and say thank you. It is a mutual affection and gratefulness. You guys are incredible, incredible fans. So
Hear,
thank
hear.
you so
Amen.
much.
Beautiful. Gorgeous place to end it. Absolutely perfect. Folks, thank you so much for being here. One more time for Richard, Emily, and Nolan, please.
Thanks, everybody.
Have a great rest of your convention, everybody.
Thank you.